All right. First things first.
I'm just looking
name
at you.
and title.
Okay.
Yep.
Tony Evers. I'm State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Candidate for governor.
Candidate for governor, and I guess now we call you maybe front runner for governor. Some good news coming out here in the last few weeks about your polling numbers. How do you react to that?
Yeah, real good.
The last few weeks about your polling numbers. How do you react to that?
Yeah, real good. And the important thing is that in the Marquette poll we show a large lead, but the good thing is that over time it also showed that our support is growing. And that's important to me because that shows that not only is it name recognition about my day job, but it actually is people are resonating and reacting positively to what we're saying.
And the other poll coming out today, the MSNBC poll, it's showing that you actually on top of Governor Scott Walker potentially. Of course, you got to get there first.
Yes, I do.
Sports analogy, you got to get there first.
Right.
But what do those numbers tell you?
That tells me that. We're doing a good job. See, we've looked at this race from a retail point of view. With 8 candidates, we spend most of our time just going out and talking to people. And, we'll do TV ads and other media, but the fact of the matter is we've really spent a lot of time reaching out to people. So that tells me that has worked. And so we're going to continue on. We feel confident we can win the primary, but we're not taking anything for granted. The fact that a national organization, a nationally recognized poll has us up 13 points out Scott Walker, that's a good place to be.
And you've done 2 events like this now here in Wausau, just coming out to a bar on a Thursday or a Friday night, shaking hands with the public. I mean, you don't have the security detail around you. You're coming across as a very approachable guy so far in this campaign. Is that your strategy?
That's me. So it better be our strategy because that's the way I am. As simple as that. I love being with people. I like to listen to what they have to say and what issues are important to them. So that's the way we're going to run this race.
And what issues are you hearing as you're hanging out here in Malarkey?
Clearly, my wheelhouse is education. I hear a lot of issues around education, a lot of issues around natural resources. People are concerned about that. Transportation issues, health care. And the thing that's important about those issues is that they thread the needle between Republicans and Democrats. Those aren't Democrat-only issues. I mean, people that are Republican really want to have good, clean water. They want to have good public schools, and so that's why I think our campaign has resonated well because we're not necessarily just talking about what's important to us as Democrats. We're talking about Wisconsin values, and what you find here in Wausau is a good example of that.
And one more thing I wanted to ask you about was, of course, Governor Walker recently had some strong words for Matt Flynn, calling him to possibly drop out of the race. Matt says, I'm not going to do that. I mean, how do you react like that? Obviously, Matt being a rival of yours, but also somebody in your own party getting called out by the governor.
Yeah, well, that's an odd place for the governor to be. I mean, obviously, am I concerned that the issues that were brought up about Matt are important issues? Of course they are. You don't like to hear those things about anybody, friends or even candidates that you're running against. But I believe the people in Wisconsin know who to vote for, and I believe they're going to be voting for me.
And in the last few weeks here before the primary, I know you're going to have probably a very busy schedule getting out and shaking more hands. What is that going to look like for you on the campaign trail?
Getting people to vote. I mean, middle of August is a really, frankly, horrible time to have an election, and people are gone or they're getting ready for school or whatever. Our goal right now, in fact, we're calling thousands of people across the state with folks that are volunteering for our campaign to make sure they get out to vote. That's what the message is going to be.
So then, regardless of the outcome then of the primary coming up in the middle of August, what are you most proud about your campaign for right now?
That it's been a campaign about issues and values and not about running down other people. I feel very confident that is really important. People are really kind of sick of the infighting and the polarization that goes on. I go places and I talk about the issues, and that's what I'm very proud of that.
One more before we let you go then. Of course, since the last time we talked, the state has distributed some $5 million or so in school safety grant money. obviously, being that education is in your wheelhouse, how did you react to that money going out there to help safeten our schools?
Well, it's important to have that money to make sure that our schools are physically safe. You know, the hardening of schools. But my concern going forward is absolutely we have to be very, very concerned about the mental health issues in the state, and that generally does connect with school safety, believe me. And so we need to do more about that. We just rolled out a budget proposal for next year that we believe will help address that issue. But mental health is big, but we also, as a state, we have to grapple with this issue of making sure that we respond to these young people that are concerned about their safety. The issue of guns, it's always like a third rail, but there are things that can be done. I mean, our recent polls show that whether you're a gun owner or not, you're okay with universal background checks. So why don't we start talking about that? Why don't we have kids, these kids that are concerned, have adults actually respond to them with some positive action? And I think that's an area we can get some agreement on. Finding common ground is what is part of my DNA, and we have to utilize all our goodwill to make sure that we not only keep our kids safe, but also deal with issues that are important in the state, whether it's transportation or education or health care. Those are important issues. We need to address them in a good way.
Anything else that you'd like to add then before we let you go?
No, I think I covered the waterfront.
All right. Well, Tony, we appreciate the
Good.
time here, and again, good luck with the rest of the campaign.
Thank you. Appreciate it.